The sea gives, and the sea takes away. It's an old saying, one that sailors and coastal folk have whispered for centuries. But sometimes, the sea takes something so strange, so unfathomable, that the old sayings just aren't enough. Our story begins in the final days of the 19th century, on a godforsaken speck of rock 20 miles off the coast of Scotland, a place called Eilean Mòr, the Big Isle in Gaelic. But there was nothing big about it. It was a lonely, wind-blasted outpost in the vast, unforgiving Atlantic, and on its highest point stood a marvel of engineering, a beacon of hope for sailors navigating these treacherous waters, the Flannan Isles Lighthouse. In December of 1900, 3 men were stationed there. Their names were Thomas Marshall, James Duquette, and Donald MacArthur. These weren't novices, they were seasoned keepers, men who understood the rhythm of the tides, the howl of the wind, and the profound isolation of their duty. They knew the rules, they knew the routines, and they knew each other. Their lives were dictated by the turning of the lamp, the ticking of the clock, and the meticulous entries in the lighthouse log. Their job was simple, yet vital: keep the light burning, no matter what. But on December 15th, something went wrong. A passing steamer, the Arcta, noted in its log that the Flannan light was out. In a place where a single beam of light could mean the difference between life and death, this was a serious anomaly. The report was sent, but brutal storms, the very tempests the light was meant to guard against, delayed any immediate investigation. The Atlantic raged, trapping Eilean Mòr in a curtain of spray and fury. For days, the island remained cut off from the world, a dark and silent question mark on the horizon. Finally, on Boxing Day, December 26th, the relief vessel Hesperus fought its way through the turbulent seas to the island's landing stage. The tender's captain, Jim Harvey, was expecting to see the keepers waiting for him, ready for their supplies and news from the mainland. But the landing stage was empty, no ropes were laid out, no welcome was offered. An unsettling silence hung over the island, broken only by the cry of gulls and the relentless crashing of the waves. Harvey sounded the ship's horn and fired a signal flare. Still, no response. A deep sense of unease began to creep over the crew. This was not just unusual, it was wrong. Joseph Moore, a relief keeper, was sent ashore alone to investigate. He made his way up the steep, winding path to the lighthouse, his heart pounding with every step. The gate to the compound was closed. The main door to the lighthouse was unlocked, but also closed. Everything was too neat, too quiet. When he pushed the door open, the cold, still air of the tower rushed out to meet him. The scene inside was what would cement this mystery in the annals of the unexplained. In the main living quarters, a meal of salted mutton and pickles was laid out on the table, untouched, as if the men had been called away in the middle of preparing their dinner. A single chair was overturned, a small, violent disruption in an otherwise orderly room. In the kitchen, the pots and pans were clean and put away. Upstairs, the beds were unmade, but tidy. The keepers' oilskins, their heavy-duty waterproof gear for facing the Atlantic weather, were missing. All except one. One set remained hanging on its peg, which meant one of the keepers had gone out into a raging storm without his protective clothing. But the most chilling discovery was the logbook. The entries were routine until December 12th. Thomas Marshall, the principal keeper, wrote of severe winds the like of which I have never seen in 20 years. He noted that James Duquette had been very quiet and that Donald MacArthur, a tough, seasoned mariner, had been crying. Crying what could possibly make a man like MacArthur break down in tears. The entry for December 13th spoke of the storm still raging, and that all 3 men were praying. But records showed there were no storms in the area on the 12th or 13th. The weather was calm. The gales didn't hit until later. Why would an experienced keeper lie in an official log? The final entry, on December 15th, was brief and cryptic. Storm past, sea calm, God is over all, and then, nothing. The log ends. The men's lives, as far as we know, end with it. Investigators scoured the island. They found no bodies, no signs of a struggle beyond that single overturned chair. No note, no message, no clue as to what had happened. The west landing stage showed signs of recent storm damage. Ropes and a supply crate, usually stored in a crevice 100 feet above sea level, were gone. Had one of the men been swept away by a freak wave, and the others perished trying to save him? It was the most popular theory. It suggests 2 keepers went out to secure equipment during a storm, were washed away, and the third, perhaps MacArthur, rushed out after them, forgetting his oilskins in his panic, only to meet the same fate. It's a plausible explanation, but it doesn't explain everything. It doesn't explain the logbook entries describing a storm that didn't exist. It doesn't explain why 3 experienced keepers would all leave the sanctuary of the lighthouse during such weather. a direct violation of their most fundamental rules. Why would they leave the lighthouse unmanned, the light unlit, and why the untouched meal, the stopped clock, the strange, almost theatrical stillness of the scene? Over the years, theories have swirled like the mists around Eilean Mòr. Some whispered of madness, that the intense isolation drove one of the men to murder his colleagues before taking his own life. Others spoke of supernatural forces, of ancient sea spirits or creatures from the deep, drawn to the lonely island. Ghost stories, tales of alien abduction, even a secret government plot. Every possible explanation, no matter how wild, has been offered up to fill the void left by the three vanished men. The truth is, we don't know. We will likely never know. The men were there, and then they weren't. The only witnesses were the waves, the wind, and the stone of the lighthouse itself. And they are keeping their secrets. The mystery of the Flannan Isles lighthouse isn't just about three missing men. It's a story about the awesome, terrifying power of nature, the fragility of the human mind in the face of absolute solitude, and the chilling realization that some questions simply have no answers. The lighthouse stands there still, its beam cutting through the darkness, a lonely monument to an eternal mystery. It keeps watch over the empty sea, its light still turning, as if guarding a secret it will hold forever. Thank you for watching. If you're fascinated by the world's great unsolved mysteries, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'd love to hear your theories on what happened at Eilean Mòr, so drop them in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.